Okay, so this is the really restorative and nurturing and relaxing practice. So spend most of the time down on the mat, either sitting or reclining. And yeah, we'll do a little bit of self-massage, and it'll be a kind of a gentle chill out kind of practice. So I'll aim to give modifications on things, but if anything's uncomfortable or if it hurts, don't do it. Find a way that feels gentle and easeful. And the whole purpose here is to do something that's nice for our bodies. So we can aim for that. We'll start out with breathing in a seated position. So feel free to sit up on top of a cushion or a folded up towel, or if you like, you could sit on a block if that's comfy. We'll settle down, let our legs or hips be heavy, ground into the earth, roll our shoulders back, go up tall through the spine. Maybe find the tops of our shoulder blades recline back just slightly. The bottom corners of our shoulder blades can tip forward slightly, so giving the chest room to rise and expand. And to start with pranayama practice or breathing exercise today, we can do Nadi Shodhana, which is the alternate nostril breathing. So here you can take your index and middle finger and fold them down into your hand, and then we'll close off alternating thumb on the right nostril and ring finger on the left nostril. If it doesn't work for you to keep your fingers tucked, you could also bring your middle and index finger into your third eye if that feels better, gives them a place to be. And we'll start by breathing in through the left nostril. Before we breathe out, we'll switch and breathe out through the right nostril. Slow, gentle, steady. Breathe in, same nostril. And before we breathe out, we'll switch. Breathe out the left. Continue this alternate nostril breathing, going at your own pace. Smooth, gentle breaths. If you ever get lost with the alternating, you can breathe in and then switch before breathing out. So we switch before the exhale. If you feel comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes. Use this steady, balanced breathing as a way to still our thoughts, steady the mind. Really come into the room and then put us in a nice headspace for practice. And you can let your breath cycle end with an exhale out of the left nostril. When you're done with your breathing with Nadi Shodhana, we'll start with some gentle neck rolls. Around side to side. Tip our heads back. Yeah, we'll just change direction from side to side. And we can come back to neutral. Tuck our chin in, lengthening through the back of the neck. And then gently we can start to lengthen through the throat, stretching the chin upwards without collapsing the head onto the neck or onto the shoulders, keeping length on the front and the back of the neck. And then we'll come back through tucking the chin in and down, length through the back of the neck, lengthening through the throat. We'll go through a few cycles of this, going your own pace, matching it up with your breathing in a way that feels good. And we can bring our head back to neutral. Bring our hands out so our fingers touch gently the ground out to our sides. And then we can tip our head over towards the left. So left ear coming to left shoulder. And we want to invite the right shoulder to come down. Both shoulders melting down towards the ground, toward the hips. Option for the fingertips is stay here. If you like, you could lift up your right fingertips, stretch them away from you. So that changes the nature of the stretch sometimes. Pick the option that feels comfortable, useful. Be slow, gentle breathing in and out of the nose. Breathing length into the muscles along the side of the neck. And then we can start to bring our chin down towards our left shoulder, maybe looking out towards our left fingers. And this is a slightly different angle, slightly different set of muscles that are being lengthened. And then continuing to let the shoulders relax down towards the mat, and keeping that, we can start to rotate, lengthening the chin upwards, finding a gentle stretch along the front side of the neck. We'll take one more deep breath in here, and then we can come back to neutral. Touch down with our fingertips, gentle rotation, looking out over each shoulder. And we'll come to the other side, so gently tipping right ear towards right shoulder, inviting both shoulders to relax down towards the mat, melting down towards the earth. Knowing that both sides might be different, you can decide whether you want to keep your fingertips on the ground or maybe lift your left fingertips up a bit and stretch them away. Continuing to let both shoulders relax downwards, breathing into length along the left side of the neck. Slow and gentle, in and out of the nose. And gently start to bring the gaze down towards the right shoulder, continuing to stretch the left fingers away. Breathing length into this different aspect of the neck muscles and shoulder muscles. And we'll invite our shoulders to melt down towards the ground a little bit more, and then start to gently lift the chin up, lengthening through the throat, reaching away with the left fingers, breathing length into the front side of the neck. One more deep breath in here. Come back towards normal or neutral, and then we'll look left and right, gentle rotation, lubricating the joints. And then we can bring our hands into heart center, and we'll pick one of our hands and begin a little massage in the webbing between our fingers and our thumb. So really getting into the meaty part of the thumb. You can go for a bunch of little squeezes, or you could give sustained pressure. There might be sensation here, and it might be intense, but don't want it to be painful. Want it to be a nice release, even if it's a strong feeling. From here, we'll grab our thumb and we'll give it squeezes in a couple different directions. You can rotate your hand around. If you like, you can give a gentle traction on your thumb. We'll do the same thing with our index finger, giving it a squeeze in a few different directions. Maybe a gentle traction. We'll work through all our fingers this way, giving them a little more encouraging circulation in the skin. Feeling contact along the sides of the fingers, which often don't get a lot of sensation of contact. We're going to grab our wrist, front and back. We'll work up your forearm a little bit if you like. Working the grip of our squeezing hand and relaxing the grip of our hand that's being squeezed. A shake. Come back to Namaste and notice if you feel any difference, left hand to right hand. It's something to notice. You can come in and start giving a massage on our other hand. A pleasant level of pressure in the thumb webbing between our thumb and our fingers. A nice squeeze. And then we can give our thumb squeeze in a few different directions, and if you like, a little bit of traction. We'll work through the fingers on this hand. Squeeze both sides. And we can do some squeezing on the wrist. Kind of squeeze in different directions. A little bit closer to your hand or a little bit closer to your elbow. And I feel that relaxing the grip of your hand that's being squeezed. And then we can shake out both hands, invite circulation into both hands. Bring our hands back to Namaste. Notice the feeling in each of our hands. While we're here, we can interlace our fingers and we can take a figure eight. So often we interlace in our favorite way first, and we often also have a favorite way to do a figure eight. So notice which direction you're going, notice which thumb is on top. And then we can come back to Namaste and then switch. So switch the interlace, switch the direction of the figure eight. If you get lost, that's okay. Any kind of figure eight is okay. And we'll bring our hands back in front of the heart. Notice how that feels. The next thing we'll take a look at is our feet. So a few options here. You want to free up your feet, or one foot at a time, so that you can actually get your hands on it. It might be that that is something that works best using a prop rubbing on. Maybe bending your leg out in front, bringing your foot close enough for you to hold it and squeeze it. Or for me, I like to modify a fire log pose. So we're gonna take our fingers in between our toes and kind of give them a squeeze onto the balls of the foot by squeezing with our hand. Squeeze the balls of the foot. If that doesn't work, you can also squeeze over top of your toes, same type of thing. And stretch the toes back, pointing through the heel. And I can try the opposite, kind of heading over the top of the foot, curling the toes under. And we'll do that a few different ways, or a few times, a few cycles. Heading the bottom of your foot, bending your toe back. And then heading the top of your foot, curling your toes in. And then we can take both our hands and give our feet a bit of a massage so we can squeeze the toes, press our thumbs into the ball mounds, the metatarsal heads where the toes connect into the foot. We can grab into the arch, squeezing the arch of the foot, maybe cupping the heel and squeezing that in a few different directions. Maybe we can get the feeling that our foot has some articulation in it, so we can almost get the feeling of bending it like a taco, subtly, a long-wise taco out of our foot. And then we can give some slaps on the bottom of the foot, and then switch sides. So both sides might be different. It might be that the way you access this foot is different than the other foot, and that's okay. Find a way that's comfortable, whether it's coming up on props, or you could do this seated in a chair actually too, that would also work. So we're gonna start with the toes. So if it works for you, you can interdigitate or bring your fingers in between your toes and give a bit of a squeeze, a bit of a circle, squeezing with your hands. You could always just squeeze over top of your toes also if it work. Put down the toes, and then we'll take both our hands, massage through the balls of the feet. I think I forgot that ankle articulation, so we'll take that one next. I'm gonna pet along the bottom of my foot, flex through my ankle and stretch my toes back. I'm gonna pat along the top of my foot, all the way down to my toes, and then curl my toes around. You take a few cycles of this. Feel free to pause with the toe stretching or to go through quicker cycles and try it a few more times. So now that evens us up on both sides for ankles, and we can come back to a little massage with the thumb pads coming in onto the balls of the feet, and then the arch of the foot, be cupping the heel, squeezing the heel in different directions. Maybe finding some subtle articulation along the long axis of the foot, maybe finding a bit of a bend there. Making a taco out of the longitudinal arch of the foot. Nice. Give that foot a bit of a slap, wake up the circulation there, and then we can move into a tabletop position. We'll spread our fingers out, our palms underneath our shoulders, knees, underneath our hips. And from here, we'll bring hips back. So not coming all the way down into a child's pose, pretty close, and then coming forward. Maybe the shoulders come over the hands or come in front of the hands, but being gentle coming forward because that's a lot of stretching for the wrists, a lot of wrist extension. You can just be gentle. Finding a cadence that works for you. The next time we rock forward, we'll pause, look over at one hip, look over at the other hip, and then we'll take 2 more rocks. And we'll look over at one hip, over the other hip. 2 more rocks. And then we can come into a tabletop. You can readjust your hands and knees if they moved a little bit. And from here, we'll try some cat and cow. So moving with the breath, inhaling, chin comes up, tailbone comes up. And then exhaling, tailbone tucks under, chin comes in, rising up through the back. Moving at your own pace here, finding the movement matching up to the speed of your own breath. Option here to close your eyes, or to leave your eyes open and to change your gaze with each range of motion. We can come back to neutral. We've done some cat and cow. We've also done a bit of lateral flexion, C curves. If you like, you can keep going with cat and cow, or another option would be to do a hula cat, which is like a cat that has a hula hoop. So coming down through cow, swinging over to the side, all the way up. Big circular movement of the head, circular movement of the waist. We'll find the opportunity to go in both directions. Go as fast or as slow as you like. And keep breathing, but there's no particular way to use your breath here, so the breath is a tool and not a rule. If you haven't changed directions, you can do so now, so you get a chance to go in both directions. And then I'm gonna move my knees further apart. Let's move my hips back towards a child's pose. If you prefer, you could go with knees together. Stretching out long through the arms, letting the hips be heavy, sinking down towards the heels. From that anchored position of your hips, letting your spine waterfall forward until your head connects with the ground. Letting your elbows relax down onto the ground. So even as your arms are stretching forward, they can be relaxed. Breathing into your belly. Take one more deep breath in there, and then we'll start to move onto our backs. So want to have yoga scarf and a block in handy reach. And slowly roll down. From now with the knees bent, Feet flat on the floor. Feet are about hip distance apart, and then you can tickle your heels with your fingers. That's how close your feet would be. So from here, we'll come into a rolling pelvis with the breath. So we'll inhale, tailbone comes down, belly expands up with the breath, and then we'll exhale, tailbone tucks under, maybe pressing down on the feet, and the hips can lift a little bit. So inhaling, belly expands, tailbone is heavy. Exhaling, scooping the belly, lifting the hips any amount. So gentle rolling Setuasana, bridge pose. Moving gently with the breath. Take one more cycle like this. Inhaling, belly expands. Exhaling, pelvis tucks under. And then we can bring our, this one actually, let's grab the yoga scarf or strap. And then we can find the loop around the balls of our feet. We'll stretch our leg out straight. So I've got my right leg in the scarf, but whichever one you start with is fine. We'll push some energy through the heels, so the toes are coming back towards us. We're going to bring the arms, shoulders down to the mat to relax. I've got my leg on a bit of an angle here. Find the position for your leg that allows for comfortable lengthening, so you can breathe into the back of the leg. Wherever that is for you. Find alignment in your hips, so not torquing your one hip up into your armpit, but on both sides of your pelvis be level. We'll take a deep breath in and then bring the strap into your right hand and start to open out to the right. And if your leg doesn't come to the floor, you could always find a support with a block. I'm going to bring my left hand over to my left hip and just encourage and remind this hip to stay grounded down. If your right leg feels like it's tipping you over, you could also open out through your left knee. It's kind of a counterbalance. Breathing length into the inside of the leg. Nice even breaths in and out of the nose. Drawing the breath all the way down to the belly. Take one more deep breath in here, and then exhale, leg comes up. Switch the strap into the left hand this time. I'm gonna straighten out my left leg down to the ground, and then I'm going to, I'm running out of space here with the wall. So wiggle over. And then gently drawing right leg across your body. It doesn't need to come to the ground. You could hover if that's comfortable, or you could always find a prop, block, or a cushion, piece of furniture to support it. Continuing to shine some energy through your heel, drawing your toes back towards your shin. Breathing length into the outside of your thigh, your hip. Take one more deep breath in here and then exhale. Coming all the way back up, we can release our foot from the strap. Bring both feet to the ground. Give them a little kick, a little bit of marching. And then we can lasso our other foot. Option to straighten your other leg. I'm going to leave mine bent for the time being. Pointing energy through your heel, drawing your toes back. Breathing length into the back of your leg. And your shoulders rest down onto the mat. Arms are relaxed. And finding whatever angle for your leg allows you to find that comfortable length. Finding some alignment in your hips, leveling them out. Take a deep breath in here and then bring the strap into the left hand. Start to open out to the side. Maybe finding a prop underneath that leg. And for me, it'll be my right hand onto my right hip. Encouraging and reminding the hips to stay grounded. Also using my knee as a counterbalance, so coming out to the side. Breathing length into the inside of the leg. We'll take one more deep breath in here. And exhale, leg comes all the way up. Start to straighten the right leg. Bring the strap into the right hand. And gently bringing the leg across the body. Finding some energy through the heel. Drawing the toes back towards our shin. Breathing in and out of the nose. Finding length through the back of the leg. Through the side of the leg and hip. Find one more deep breath in here and then exhale. Coming back to center, we can release this leg. We're done with our strap and we'll find a Pavanmuktasana, wind releasing pose. So this is with one knee in and the other leg straight. Option to do this here with your back and your hips on the mat, or if you like, you could put a block or two your sacrum, and this lift gives a little more stretch on the front of the hip. So it kind of opens up the hip flexors here. So pick whatever option is comfy. Give a squeeze in on your right knee. Finding alignment in your hips, so letting go of any hiking or twisting. And both your feet be relaxed, and your toes a wiggle. And breathing length in your straight leg. Take one more deep breath in here, and then we can bring both knees in, a little wiggle. And then we can hold on to our left knee, straighten out the right leg. Let both feet relax. Both shoulders relax, jaw relax. Finding alignment and leveling through our hips.
Breathing length into the front of the leg. Take one more deep breath in here. And then we can exhale. Gentle squeeze both knees into the chest. Bring both your feet down. You can either do a dance with both feet, kicking, or you can lift up and release your block. And from here, we can gently roll onto our tummies. And from here, we can find our forearms out in front. We can rest our head on our forearms. And resetting our pelvis, we'll bend our knees up to the ceiling. Or bend our knees and our feet come up to the ceiling. Take a gentle our legs side to side. We can bring our head down on our right arm. We'll tuck our pubic bone into the mat, so almost like we're lengthening our tailbone down towards our heels. Then we can reach back with the left hand, grab the left foot or the left ankle. This might be another good spot to use your yoga scarf if you want to lasso your ankle. Our knees probably won't be touching, but we want to have a relationship between the knees, so our legs are pointing straight down, leg bones parallel with one another. From here you can tuck the tailbone down, pressing the pubic bone into the mat. And breathe length into the front of the thigh. Nice lengthening for the quads. Breathing in and out of the nose. Take one more deep breath in here and then prepare to let go of this ankle without slingshotting it. And bring both forearms down in front of our head, down to support our head, and then gentle windshield wiper side to side. And then when you're ready, head comes onto the left forearm. You can reach back for the right ankle, finding that relationship between our knees, and starting to curl the tailbone down, pressing the pubic bone into the mat. Breathing length into the front of the leg. Gentle lengthening for the quads. We'll take one more deep breath in here. Prepare for gentle release. Bring both arms underneath our head. Gentle side to side. From here, we'll push up into a tabletop. And from here, we can take a pigeon pose. So if a classic pigeon pose works for you, you can start to bring knee forward, start to bring the hips down, and then gently come down, maybe bringing your elbows onto a block. If a face down pigeon is not where it's at for you, you could come onto your back, bring your ankle to your knee, and gently draw it in. And we're here for several breaths, so you find the option that feels comfiest for you. Wherever you are, inviting your toes to
stretch back towards your shins. So in external rotation, we want to add that support for the knee. Slow, gentle breathing in and out of the nose helps the muscles to relax and to lengthen. Go of any gripping in your jaw, gripping in your abdomen. On your back, letting your shoulders relax down towards the mat. And one more deep breath here. And exhale, gently starting to come out of this posture, and then finding the same stretch on the other side. Knowing that it might feel different from one side or the other. Feeling free to make whatever modifications or whatever props work for you. So if you are on a face down pigeon and your hips don't quite come to the ground, you could always find the support of a block. That's the sharp part of the block. There we go. Wherever you are, inviting the toes of your bent leg to come back towards the shin, providing that support for your knee. Starting to find a sense of surrender. Letting your jaw relax, your face relax. Breathing length and release into the muscles of your hips. Also your abdomen. Take one more deep breath in here. As we exhale, starting to release the pose. Setting aside any props. And now we will find our ball and our block. And we'll start to come onto our back and find some massage here. So maybe we can start on our left side today. I'm going to bring my ball underneath my back on the inner edge of my shoulder blade, between my shoulder blade and my spine. I'm gonna try to relax my weight onto this. Kind of a little side to side wiggle. Give a little side to side wiggle, and then I'll move down a couple of centimeters. Side to side wiggle. Finding a spot where you can get into any areas where things are kind of knotted up. Find any areas with tension or maybe little dense spots in the muscle, and open up that spot in between the shoulder and the spine. I'm just sticking to the left side to start with. And then from here we can come onto our side. So I'm on my left side. I'm going to bring the block underneath my head like a pillow. And I'm going to take the ball and bring it right behind my ear on the block. So I've got the block, the ball, and the area right behind my ear. So here I'm going to make little circles, a little back and forth, up and down. Oh, got stuck on my earlobe. And there's a lot of neck muscles that attach in here. And these can often get really tight at their common connection point here. Bring the ball in front of the ear, bring it into the jaw muscles. So letting the head relax onto the ball and letting the ball kind of work into the density of the masseter muscles. It's the big chewing muscles of the jaw. If you ever tend to grit your teeth, this is definitely the tooth gritting muscle. So kind of relax that. And then I'm going to move my block slightly so that I can bring the ball up towards my temple. Nice little front to back. Maybe a circle. And let your head kind of melt onto the ball. Move back and forth, up and down, side to side. And we can turn a little bit and bring the ball onto the left side of the forehead so we can press the ball into the spot in between the eyebrows, working onto the eyebrow and over on the forehead. So this will involve turning our head a little bit. Gentle here, but letting this smooth out and relax all the muscles of the forehead. Nice. And that feels like enough on this side. You can roll over onto the other side. I'm going to spin all the way around so it's still visible on the camera. And we'll start with the block to the side, but with the ball on the back in between the shoulder blade and the spine. So let the ball find all of the any tight spots, tense spots. Breathe into any gripping, any tension. Let your body kind of melt down around the ball. A little wiggle, side to side, up and down. I've started at the bottom of my shoulder blade, so I'm starting that centimeter by centimeter, wiggle the ball towards the top. Moving down a little bit on my mat as I do that. Pausing on any dense spots in the muscle. Let this be pleasant, even if there's some intensity to the sensation, finding a way for this to feel good. So if there's a lot of pain in the muscles, then often the muscles tend to tighten up to protect themselves, and it's tough for the muscles to relax under those conditions. So let it be easy, pleasant. I'm going to start rolling onto my right side. Bring my block underneath my head. I like to bring the ball, this spot just behind my ear. So stacking the ball on the block. Gentle wiggle. Making little circles. Making nice, even breaths in and out of the nose. Relaxing the tension out of these muscles in the neck and in the jaw that connect here behind the ear. And then we can start to bring the ball underneath the jaw or on the side of the jaw, where on the outside of where your molar teeth are. Letting the ball work into the density of the masseter muscle, the big chewing muscle. That feels like enough. You can bring the ball to your temple. Find a gentle kind of back and forth circles, up and down. Letting your head kind of relax onto the ball. And your nice deep breaths here. Letting all these muscles smooth out and relax. Starting to turn your head down, finding the path of the ball along your forehead, on your eyebrow, maybe in between your eyebrows. Finding that nice gentle release in between the eyes. We'll start to roll onto our backs. Keep the block underneath the head. And we'll bring the ball to the occipits, the little bumps, the attachments of muscles on either side of the base of your skull. Three little bumps here that might be, have attachments, there's some tightness in their attachments. Finding a gentle roll side to side. Feel like you can take a pause in any spot that seems a little tight or a little dense. Imagine your head melting down around the ball. A little shake of your head, no. And that feels like enough. Let's set the ball off to the side, set our block off to the side, and we'll take one more neck relaxation before finding Savasana. Hold your hands onto the back of your head. Tuck your chin in just like we did with our first neck stretch. Lengthening through the back of the neck. And then slowly, gently unfurling, rolling out, lengthening your neck down onto the mat. Letting your arms come down and relax, one at a time, letting your legs spread out and flatten down onto the mat. If you wanted a blanket or a sweater, do that now. Coming into a relaxed position on your mat. The final relaxation of this practice, letting your whole body be heavy. Letting your feet walk lazily onto their sides. Under your ankles, loose and relaxed. Letting your calves be heavy, melting into the mat. Knees are juicy and alive. All the muscles of your thighs unfurling, relaxing apart from one another, melting down into the mat. Finding a sense of spaciousness in your hips. Maybe the two sides of your pelvis move apart from one another, just slightly. Just enough so the triangle of your sacrum can land down on the mat. Feeling your full spine contact the mat. Feeling your ribs expand with every breath. With every exhale, feeling your torso settle into the mat. Finding a sense of spaciousness in your shoulders. Your shoulder blades relax, spread apart from one another. And settle down into the mat, their full shoulder blade on each side, finding its place on the mat. Upper arms grow heavy, sink into the mat. Letting go of any tension or any gripping in your forearms. And all those muscles untangle and let go. Widening through your palms. Let your hands be slack, your fingers curling in gently. Letting your neck be long. Relaxing all the muscles attached to your shoulder, attached to your neck. All the muscles of your jaw. And all the little muscles around your ears, around your eyes, your temples, your forehead smooth out and relaxed. As your head sinks gently into the mat. Bringing your attention to your breath. Slow and gentle, in and out of your nose. Enjoying this relaxed peace in Savasana. Your mind should wander, bringing it back gently to your breath. Bring some movement into your fingers, into your toes. You're starting to circle your wrists, your ankles. Maybe gently turning your head side to side. If you like, you bring your arms up alongside your head for a big stretch. Arms and legs. Maybe yawn. And then when you're ready, you can roll yourself onto your right-hand side. Using your arm like a pillow. We'll take a moment here to consolidate the practice. Think about how it felt, what we noticed. things we learned about our body, breath, our thoughts. Noticing what it's like to take the time and dedicate a practice to nurturing and recovery. Not attaching any judgment to this practice or how it went. We can put it behind us. Kiss it goodbye. And then gently come up to a seated position. So in your seated position, you can breath in with your hands coming out on your knees. As you exhale, circling hands in front of the heart. Thanks for practicing today. It was nice to have you all here. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.